So you guys know we've been going in on our project of the rear-wheel drive Civic with the KA24 S13 engine in it, and last time we left off we cut the factory subframe trying to integrate that somehow to work with our KA. After many hours of just pondering and being frustrated, I realized it's not worth it and it's just not going to work. Unfortunately, with the Civic suspension and everything, there leaves no room for a steering rack, just nowhere at all, and it just wouldn't work. So I decided to pull the trigger and do what, B?
This is now a 240.
Surprise, surprise, we're gonna basically convert the whole front suspension of this car into a 240SX, which is super common. People do it all the time. The 240 front suspension is a very simple setup and it works really well, and people graft it into different chassis all the time. For us, it works out because we have two what sitting around?
We have, two, you didn't go over this with me.
Yeah,
There's
sorry.
a bunch of 240s we can measure off of around here, which is perfect for us because we have all the information we need sitting right there and right there. The other reason a 240 is like a perfect platform is because these are built on like a level plane. It's all flat at the bottom. And that's what makes 240s so easy to graft into another car.
And luckily I have a lot of friends with 240 parts, so I was able to already get basically a whole entire 240 front end, which is pretty dope. So what this means, guys, is we basically have to make new frame rails. So we have to make frame rails that mimic the geometry of a 240SX, and this is me literally making 1.5 million measurements in the last couple hours, and stopped at the steel yard, Logan Steel, of course. We got all the supplies. I think we can make this work. So let's just shut up, get the cutting, and figure this all out. Sound good?
Oh my God!
That hurt. That really hurt.
It hurt my finger a little bit, and I hope it didn't hurt the camera.
I think I broke my lens.
Oh my. It looks crooked. And we're back! How's the dad cam? Sick or what?
All right, let's start taking this thing apart. So, what we gotta do first is get this thing out of the way. It's bent anyways, so screw it.
Yes. Point of impact. There and there.
So since we're trying to mimic the 240 suspension, they actually have a lower radius support that's reinforced that the tension rod brackets actually bolt to. So we're gonna start off making that platform and kind of work our way back, since we already measured out where the subframe actually has to be. So the tension rod brackets are right here, and you can see the lower radius support right here. So we gotta make room for a new one of those. I forgot to record. I'm so mad. All right, we just cut this whole, that sucks. All right, so this whole bent section is now cut out. So now we have room to build our very own pedestal for our tension rods.
Lower rad support / suspension cross member.
All right, sorry, it's kind of a mess right now. I'm so thrown off using this camera, but so we cut the whole front end off of this thing. Well, everything that we thought was gonna be in the way. I guess I missed filming that because I didn't click the record button, but that's cool. So now is the part where we start to construct our frame rails. And what we're doing is we're just trying to make points for the subframe, the tension rod brackets, and sway bar, and everything to actually bolt to.
The whole Civic is wider than a 240, and everything on a 240 suspension ends up running in a line.
So might as well just go front to back
Easy peasy.
And have everything what you need in one line.
So last night I spent the time, I leveled the chassis, and we figured out where the subframe actually needs to sit in the car to make the engine fit and the suspension actually fit. And after a lot of aligning, this is essentially where it's gonna be, right here, at this height and everything. So now, all we're gonna do is basically make everything else around the way this fits. So we figured working our way forward and then going back is gonna be our best plan. So what we have to do is we actually have to make a lower radiator support for our front tension rod brackets. These things right here, which as you could see, are right here. So we're gonna make this lower radiator support on the Civic and then attach our frame rails to that and then go back into the firewall. So what we're doing now is plating the front ends of our frame rails to accept a nice new lower radiator support.
Exactly, because this stuff is way too thin to be welding to. Hey! All right.
so we got the plates welded, everything's prepped. We got our beam cut out to the right length that we need. And after many minutes of measuring, we have it mapped out. Okay, yeah, come on. Let me get more excitement out of you.
Yeah, let's get some welding done, guys.
That was so cringe. Let's get to it. So this is gonna be our frame rail, just like this. Well, done a lot nicer and actually, you know, integrated, but you get an idea of it. So, two major issues, right? One, the tension rod brackets aren't in line with the subframe, which means we actually have to cock the rail slightly in. And on top of that, just making sure everything's center at the right height level and finding a center point on the chassis, because acidic rails actually aren't symmetrical, which makes things even more difficult. We're gonna measure about 1,500 times and get back to you guys, and hopefully we have some good progress.
Yes.
All right, so after much consideration, we decided one massive change. You wanna show them that?
I'm gonna take the frame rail, all right? We're gonna flip it on its side. It's gonna solve all of our issues, and we'll be able to make this thing perfectly square, 90-degree angle.
So I wanted to look at the 240 subframe where it's skinny and tall because it's very similar dimensions, but it actually looks more normal when we make it the fat way.
So this is what we were gonna do before, and now we're gonna be able to just rotate it here, and that's to make up the 1.5 inch difference that the tension rod braces land compared to the subframe.
So we know exactly where the rail needs to be now. Now the only weird part is we actually have to create this weird triangle shape now to sit the frame rail completely in so it sits all nice and flush to the rail and we have a good surface to weld to. But not only is there a difference in shape 2D this way, but also in the height of it too. So this might get kind of tricky. Should we template or free ball? Free ball it is.
Free ball.
Let's see what we got. Hey, not too bad. It looks like we know what we're doing. Not bad. Oh yeah. Cool. One down, one to go.
That's right.
All right, I've been slacking hard on filming all this stuff because me and Brian have just been both just grinding so hard at this. We're racing to try and get these frame rails mocked up tonight, and I think this is gonna be the final cut we have to do before we can start prepping and tacking. Are you feeling good about it? Because I'm feeling good about it.
We still need 5/8 inch spacers.
I'm feeling it. It's all right, just keep going. Oh, it's beautiful. Nice work, it's dark. Hold on, can night mode do it? Oof, night mode.
There you go, something like that. This one's not as nice as the other side.
No, I think it looks, no, that looks so good.
Oh no, it's supposed to be kind of like that.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. There it is.
Not bad. I'm really proud of us. Cool. Now another lot of work.
2 5/8 inch spacers.
So now we have to make a spacer to make up for the gap between these two, and then we can start tacking it all up.
That's right.
Perfect.
Always wear welding gloves. Close your eyes.
All right, so these are gonna make up for the space that we have between the frame rail and our lower radiator support.
Because the tension rod brace is not on the same plane as you can see here.
So now it's time to prep all the metal on the chassis and start tacking it in place, and hopefully everything lines up. All right, this is the final moment.
That's it.
So, both, stupid tripod, both frame rails are tacked in place, so we're gonna measure everything like 10 more times, verifying if it's good. Send her home. Do the honors, measure it out.
Dude,
So if we did this right, it's gonna be 26 1/8 width-wise in the rear and in the front, and it's gonna be, what, 16 5/8 tall everywhere.
Yeah, from the bottom, yeah.
16 and I would say that is a 16th over 5/8, but we'll take it.
16 5/8, baby.
16 and hey, same thing, like a 16th over. So
Hey, I'll take it. All right, screw it.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes.
All right. Now width. I don't want to cut these out.
26 and an 8th. 26 and an 8th.
Dude. Yes. Now we can weld them in and do everything else.
Dude, it feels like a 240.
Yeah,
right
hold on.
now.
Check this out. This is super funny. It might look kind of jank on camera, but in person, this is super gnarly.
Check this out.
This is a 240 tension rod bracket. Ooh! Don't do it again. Oh, I love it. That's so awesome. It's the first time we test fitted that.
Right in there.
And there we go.
Like so.
This is exciting.
I'm pumped because we could even run a sway bar and everything. Like, we don't have to compromise anything.
Like originally when we thought about this, like we were thinking, you know, we'll probably save time leaving that Civic subframe in. This was way faster.
This makes me so much more excited because now, like, it goes from a car that, like, might just kind of work to a car that might actually drive pretty well. So that I'm way more excited about it now.
Dude, we're gonna be hitting the clubhouse circuit in the spring with this thing. Yo! Lock City coming for you.
So pumped on this. Well, we got a lot more welding to do. Then we have to obviously weld all the holes for all the brackets and everything. We got to sleeve everything for extra support. So we still got a lot of work to do just to get the engine bolted up in there. Of course, we have to make new top hats for the strut towers right here to accept the S13 top hat. I don't think it'd be worth trying to run a Civic one.
Start with the engine, move on to the transmission, and then it'll be rear end time.
I am so happy with this right now. Now the real question is, do we bother like skirting this right here so it kind of fills the gap, or do we just leave it exposed like that?
I think we should just leave it.
I know, we should just leave, like, it would look really nice though if we plated it so it looked like one big fat
It
rail.
would look sick if we shaved the bay on every car in the world, but you know.
True. Just seeing the subframe in place is just really crazy look, and it honestly is looking like a lot more normal than I thought it would. This looks a little hideous, but if you once the bumper's on, you won't see it. So this right here is actually a pretty good look. So we're still probably gonna brace it in the middle once we get the tension rod brackets on, just to add a little more support. Obviously, there's 1.5 million different ways we could have done this. We could have did this with, you know, different size steel, different thickness. We could have did tubing, whatever. Either way, it's gonna work. It looks great, and I'm really happy with it. So, really pumped for the next step, and I'm really excited. So, it's really late. Me and B grinding on this today, so I think we're gonna end it here. So I hope you guys are pumped on this, because seeing this come together like this just made me 10 times more excited for this whole build. So with that, you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content, and B,
Peace out, have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.